And here we go again with the Dwarves. I still have no idea how this game works, and I just found out that I can scroll on the map here by just using my mouse. Who would have guessed? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's just do what we're supposed to do, right? No injuries. Let's go there. How do I know the orcs are there? How do I? Seriously.
You arrive at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep."
That makes sense to have a stone sheep then. Observe this end of the tavern.
You enter the tavern with a determined stride, and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks.
Dwarves? We don't like dwarves around.
In the tavern, there are half a dozen people sitting at the tables, and just as many at the bar, clearly farmers and labourers from the surrounding villages. Boindale pays no attention to the other guests and trudges over to a table. Together with his brother, you follow him and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing showing their faces here, now of all times?
Protecting you from the orcs. So many options. Why do I... Oh, I can also zoom in and zoom out. Oh, this is incredible. Blah, 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 blah. It's just too much text. Why is that? The two travelers.
The two travelers passed this way. One was a famulus, the other a mercenary.
The landlord shakes his head indifferently and mumbles something incoherently. One of the guests is about to say something, but shuts up when the person next to him gives him a poke.
Poke?
You turn to the guest who'd muttered something about groundlings.
And why is it so strange that we're here?
The man glances up briefly, and then stares drunkenly at his tankard, and mutters with a slur,
"Listen here."
Don't play the innocent. The orcs are terrorizing our lands. And whose fault is it? You let them in.
I was not at the stone gateway, and I don't know what happened. But you can be sure of one thing. Dwarves would never cooperate with orcs. We kill them no sooner than we say them, or my name isn't Boindale Doubleblade.
That makes
sense. The
sense.
drunkard and his neighbour are given a start. They mumble an apology and turn their attention to the beer in front of them.
Beer.
I wouldn't mind a pint of ale.
The landlord nods and takes the twins' order too. Shortly after, he returns with your beers and puts them down in front of you.
Is that all?
Something to eat. How about a round on me? 10 nuts. Sure, why not?
Stand up
Everyone's going to
and
love
turn
me.
to the room.
This round's on me.
The faces of the guests and the landlord brighten up immediately.
That's how you get them.
The landlord gets to work pulling everyone a beer and handing out the tankards. Some of the guests say cheers to you as they get their drinks.
That's how you get them.
Come on now, tell us what happened. We're all friends here.
The man who was going to speak the first time round looks over to his neighbour, who nods.
Two travellers spent the night here.
Trust him.
One had a robe on, the other was a mercenary. The next day they left, all in a hurry. Said they'd been attacked by an elf.
An elf?
One of the other drinkers finds his voice too.
There was a hell of a lot of noise that night. As if there'd been a dust-up.
They left some gold here for the trouble. I thought they meant the noise, but then I noticed the broken window.
The landlord sighs.
Please don't tell anyone else about this. Who will want to spend the night in a tavern where an elf has been sighted?
Show me what you have for sale. I can buy things. That's interesting. Healing potion I can sell. That's for 300. Wow. Still have this. Worth quite a lot. I can. Do I need that much food? I don't know. I don't know how much food is. Confirm, cancel, confirm.
We're tired and long for a proper bed.
Of course, gentlemen.
You spend a restful night in the tavern, and then head off on your way again.
This is good. I gained experience. That's nice. This is where I have to go right now. Stapleton. So I have to. I'll go through Stapleton there. Can I? I can.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall. You enter the city and the garrison at its centre without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters that you are halted by a
wandering around inside the city.
Dwarves, eh? Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
It looks like you've got an orc problem.
Had. Our scouts detected the army early on, and we were able to repel them without any great losses. A small army of orcs like that couldn't breach our mighty walls.
Your mighty walls look like they're about to collapse under their own weight!
The soldier isn't intimidated by Boindil. He juts his chin out confidently.
At least they stopped the orcs, unlike your dwarven walls in the north.
Huh. That's right.
I didn't know that Steepleton was so big. Impressive place.
We have fertile meadows. That's what we have to thank for the city's growth in recent years. At the time of my grandparents, Steepleton was nothing more than the tower on a hill with a couple of houses. Now we have a market, a temple, and of course, there are royal messengers stationed in the tower, which doesn't do the city's coffers any harm at all.
You said you had messengers here. I'd like to send a carrier pigeon to Lot Yonan in Yonendar.
Lot Yonan in Yonendar. No problem. It will cost you 90 gold pieces.
90 gold pieces? Why would I? So expensive.
Well, if that's how it is, then I'd rather do without the carrier pigeon.
The guard nods sympathetically.
The service is expensive, but carrier pigeons are the quickest way to send a message.
I could just go there afoot.
I must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the orc attack.
Yeah.
Commander Valor is dealing with the orc problem, and I have important information concerning it. I witnessed a meeting of the orc lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you. The commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the orcs could be useful. We have fought them back, but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions, as you tell him about the 3 orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the Alv Sintharas.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
Why does he trust me so easily? I wouldn't.
The orc army that attacked you was able to escape?
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
And unfortunately,
the commander looks at you with a disgruntled expression. It suddenly seems clear to him who he has standing in front of him.
If you're interested, you could try and wipe out the mob that got away and collect the bounty.
That's...
Killing pig noses and getting paid for it? Where's the heads?
You grin at Boindil, and then turn back to the commander.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll see.
We must press on. Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many orcs as you can, dwarves. Palandir will be with you.
I think so. I can also... Wasn't able to do that yesterday. What are those numbers? I don't know. Continue this way. South? Maybe it's that orc army here. Maybe it's that. 16. 16, that could be. Maybe it means they are 16 orcs. Maybe it just means 16. I mean, there's an orc horde, so I'll just
You approach Scalebrook through its expansive fields and spot smoke rising up into the sky. A short while later, you can hear the cries of battle And finally you can smell the tallow on the orc's armor. Scalebrook is at war.
Let's attack. I just saved, especially for that. I'll probably die again. Because I have no idea how this game works yet. Boindil. You get that. Start fire.
Quick!
Whatever.
We have to help those people.
I can't select anyone.
On my way! Maracas! Yes?
Should probably do that more often.
Huh? Yes, yes!
Get this one.
Come
Kill
here,
this one.
you!
Huh?
You.
End
this
it.
one. Kill them both.
Yes?
As good
You
as
go
done.
somewhere else.
With pleasure.
You also kill this one. Got it. Oh, I killed the villager.
Say goodbye forever.
Maracas!
Probably shouldn't.
Find somewhere safe to hide. Killed. Understood.
Of course. Yes,
Go
yes.
there.
And what
Oh,
now?
you do that rampage thing.
Yes? End it.
Okay, now I understand
I
it a
didn't
bit.
hit you very hard.
I do not.
Wild creature.
Where's my friends?
What is it, huh?
Oh, they're all here.
They are on my way. Oh, what bad luck
Wait,
for
you
you.
don't take your brother with you?
With pleasure.
Thank you. Oh, why would
way.
you hit that
And
one?
what now?
Why are they so weak?
And again.
What? Battle lost? What's that? What? Probably the orcs haven't killed them. I did.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Yes?
Ah, down there. Save 15 villages.
On my way. With
there.
pleasure. Huh? Huzzah!
Don't you take your brother with you?
Ah, what is it? Oh, what bad luck for you! I didn't hit you
Get
very
them up there.
hard.
Run.
What is
run.
it? Come here, you! Huh?
Yes?
Got it. You're fine.
Attack!
You're fine. Take those.
At once. Killed. End it.
And what now? Huzzah!
Do that, whatever it is.
Yes? With pleasure. Ow! Another one bites the dust. I didn't
Another
hit you
one down.
very hard.
Another one down. Another one back.
Say goodbye forever. Yes, yes. Come here, you. I'm with you. Yes, yes. Too easy. Oh, what bad luck for you.
What? Did I lose again? Did I win? I win!
That's it. They're fleeing.
Ooh, the
I don't
orcs are...
think so.
Why?
They're
Why
just
did you let
rallying.
them flee?
And that's what we should
Kill
do
him.
too. Come on.
Thank
I've got
you
an army.
so much. You saved us.
I've got an
Not
army!
yet. The orcs are rallying. You must join us.
I love my little army.
We can't.
You
You
can't.
must. Here they come.
No, it's actually better if only the three of us fight. The others are just in the way.
What is it with you?
Run.
Yes. Come here, you. And what
Sweep them off the feet.
now? I didn't hit you very hard.
I'm still afraid that I'm going to hit my people.
Huh?
What is it?
This is awesome. This is a tuck, 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 tuck.
Huzzah!
The only useful thing so far.
They put up a fight.
Wait a moment.
What is it?
Rawr.
Huh?
Oh, that's the next week.
And what now? Pow! Another one bites the dust.
Understood. End it.
Huh? As good as done. Hitting me pretty hard. And he's out over here. Quickly.
to go up there.
I didn't hit you very hard. Too easy.
Need to kill those.
Yeah. End it. What is it? Who's next? the dust.
Another one down. Another one collected it. Wait, why is he dying?
Yes, yes. I'm with you. Yes, yes, yes. So, what is it? Come here, you.
We got him. We got him good.
Yeah. Attack.
Need like stronger auto attack, I think.
Hey!
Did I lose? No, I win. If there's a loading screen, I win. I win!
While Boindale still hunts the last of the orcs through the alleyways of the village, you and Boandal are already helping search for survivors. Various villagers, all with shocked, ashen faces, come and thank you for saving them. A middle-aged man nervously steps from one foot to the other and tries to force a smile.
My father, the village elder, he is dead.
So you're the village elder
I think
now.
I must follow in his footsteps, so I thank you in the name of Scalebrook. He left behind some gold
You need
as a
more than I do,
dowry for
probably.
my sister. She's also...
The man bows his head, produces a leather pouch, and kneads it with trembling hands.
If only you'd come earlier.
I'm sorry.
But before you can reply, the man takes a deep breath and forces himself to look at you.
What am I saying? How ungrateful.
But you can still say
Thanks to you, many of us are still alive. My daughter may be able to marry one day, thanks to your bravery.
The man hesitates briefly, then thrusts the leather pouch towards you.
You need more. No,
You
actually
accept
you
the
don't.
reward with a small bow.
You've got your
Thank you.
lives, you've got your village.
We will bury our dead and rebuild the village.
Exactly,
Life
you don't need
goes
the
on.
money.
Thanks to you, noble gentleman.
Noble gentleman. Oh, I got experience points. That's good. Just what I needed. Ooh, that's what we got. Ooh, 200. That's good. That's where I need to go, right? I think so.
You see a camp with a wagon and two people on the edge of the path. Behind them, Black Saddle towers up above a thick, dark forest, about a half a day's journey away.
Well, why are the humans
You don't
all
want to
awesome?
give them a shock, so you address them while you're still a distance away.
Hello, friends. Is there any space by your fire?
The two traders look up and visibly jump when they see you three dwarves.
That worked out better than last
yes,
time.
of course.
When they
It doesn't
punched me down.
escape your attention that you seem to be causing the traders some uneasiness, but you take up their offer and sit down. The twins follow your example.
We're only travellers. We're looking for someone who's said to live on Black Saddle. A hermit.
Someone who lives here?
The traders exchange amazed looks.
If they live here, they must be mad.
Oh, I'm looking exactly
Normally
for
we
someone
wouldn't
like
stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted. Our departure from Parista was delayed and we must have driven them too hard.
Why does Black Saddle make you feel uneasy?
Yeah, why?
It doesn't look particularly inviting, but it's only a mountain.
Only
Yeah.
a mountain? You don't know the legend.
I
The
don't. I'm a
trader looks
dwarf.
at
It's
you
a mountain. That's where I
twins for
belong.
affirmation, but you all shake your heads.
Black Saddle was once known as Cloud Piercer, and it towered up into the heavens, the upper slopes of pure
Again.
gold and the summit
Such a big
covered
mountain.
in snow. The humans wanted to attain this wealth, but the smooth slopes and the dazzling summit made the climb impossible. They called on the dwarves to help them. They were able to tunnel up through Cloud Piercer to the top. They hollowed it out and carried away the gold.
That's what
The
dwarves
humans
do, yeah.
demanded that the treasure be shared, but the dwarves refused.
Yeah.
And as they argued, the mountain began to tremble. There were too many holes inside for it to hold together. It collapsed and buried both
Doesn't
greedy
sound like-
parties underneath it.
No, that's not. Doesn't
The
sound like
mountain
dwarves.
lost its tremendous
Dwarves are
size
very
and its
good in
beauty,
that.
and ever since has haunted both humans and dwarves with its erosive hatred, causing even the rocks to turn black over time.
Erosive. That's
Never
also what
heard of
happens
it.
to the mountain.
Sounds like human tittle-tattle. Dwarves would never
Yeah, that's exactly
hollow
what I
out a
said.
mountain
Dwarves are way
so much
too
that
good
it
at
collapses.
not blacksmithing, mountaineering. Do you have anything for sale? Great. I don't need anything.
You come from Parista. How are things there?
No news to speak of, I'd say. Well, except for Nudin the Knowledge Lusty.
You know Nudin the Knowledge
I
Lusty.
don't like him.
Lot Yonan introduced him to you many years ago during a visit.
What about him?
Oh, nothing really. Just rumors.
You nod at the trader to continue.
He's behaving strangely and disappears into his tower for days on end.
And he looks ill, apparently. Well, that's what someone I know said. Perhaps he got a spell wrong.
Yeah.
Later in the night, after eating together and some friendly conversation by the campfire, you all decide to sleep. But you take the first watch.
Sure.
It's a night in which nothing happens, and the next morning the traders set off early. After breakfast, you also continue on your journey.
There's a merchant. Do I want to visit the merchant or do I want to visit my goal? I'm going to Black Saddle
By
now.
the evening campfire, Boindale rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth.
Where do you get the
He
cheese
sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindale holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Boindale.
Eat and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too.
Disgusting.
After a march through the thick pine forest, Black Saddle, the sinister tabletop mountain, and your journey's destination rises up before you.
This was like, what was it, 300 miles? Did it in a couple of days. That's pretty good. That doesn't look good.
Are you sure that the Famulus lives here?
No,
Yes,
not really.
According to Lot Yonan.
Although you try to put a lot of assurance into your voice, you too see no signs that anyone lives here.
Yeah.
No castle, no tunnel, no camp. There's nothing here but mountain.
Well, this doesn't look like a mountain. This just looks like a
You do that,
forest.
scholar. We'll be waiting for you here.
No,
You
come
think
with me.
about objecting, but it would just be a waste of breath.
I don't want to go alone. Let's go alone. There's stuff. Investigate on. Detective, look at the tree.
An old tree. Looks like it could fall down at any moment.
Interesting. Thank you. Oh, I can't fall down it. Fall it down.
There we go.
I made a path. Well, who told you to climb it? I didn't tell you to climb it. What? Is that what I was supposed to do?
Too steep.
face.
I can't get a grip anywhere. I should be able to get up here.
Well, I didn't tell you to do it yet. I wanted to investigate on him. Oops.
Phew.
That was close.
If Goren is here, then he is further up.
See, I'm fine. Second try. If at first you don't succeed. I think there's a saying like that.
There's something engraved on it.
You realize with surprise that they are runes in the Dwarven language.
I can speak Dwarven. Language, think, can
Built with the blood of our enemies, be unyielding as the rock, and soak the land in their blood. Huh?
Secret passageway, secret passageway, secret... I don't want to go in there yet. Okay. Maybe I missed things, but fine then. I hate it when in RPGs you accidentally go the right way. Hello? Anyone home? This is pretty dark.
Master Goren! Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you.
This is intriguing.
My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can finally go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Greenglade, but I think I will like it there. I deposited my most valuable things in the grave of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic. The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
Greenglade. Oh, great.
Take the book with you. Take it. And take the lamp.
Useful. An eternal flame. I know who taught him that.
Well, Ionen.
You see sketches and notes on the architectural features, statues and wall reliefs. It seems Garen spent a lot of time studying this place.
Maybe he's kind of a dwarf historian, or maybe he's just a treasure hunter. Garen is in Greenglade to visit his sunshine. Greenglade is in Gauragart. We can't have fallen in love with a pointy here, can he?
No, of course, he probably did. What is that? I can hear something.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Yeah, hello? Anyone?
It looks as though Garen lived in the fortress for a while. It also seems that he left several lunar orbits ago.
He's not stealing. It would just be a shame if the provisions went off.
Yeah. And that's true. Vroom, fire, more fire. Let's light this place. On fire.
A series of weapons that are all clearly of dwarven origin. The spider webs and rust suggest they have been here for quite a while. Maybe even centuries.
Can I still have one? Question stays.
You have difficulty deciphering the scroll.
Throw the firstlings in the forge. Beat the secondlings to a pulp.
What?
Fourthlings are... The rest is illegible.
That doesn't sound nice. Pretty horrible spell. That looks nice. Was me? Didn't touch anything. Not me. Definitely. No.
Birdlings, the fortress belongs to the dwarf haters.
Walk up the stairs. Why would I walk up the stairs if it belongs to someone that hates me?
Norimber's dwarves are not only as unyielding as a mountain, they are also as destructive as an avalanche, and would batter into lesser kingdoms just as relentlessly. The four should find no salvation in Vracus, only eternal damnation, so that they suffer indescribable torment between the worlds.
You have heard of the dwarf haters, but this is the first time you have read their hateful words. You feel sick and turn away.
Well, it wasn't too bad. Not nice, but also not too bad.
Born of stone, forged in battle, arise reborn from the blood of the enemy.
You're not sure if you really want to know what was once in this basin. The whole place gives you the feeling that a decent dwarf shouldn't hang around too long.
Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever was here, it seems to be long gone.
A rune. Clearly magical.
You have to activate them in a specific order. Okay, this one first.
Could be buried here.
No, not leave. Ah, not leave. Ha, goddammit. Loading screen, loading screen. Let's go in there again. Loading screen, 20%. Can't see the percentage right now. Ah, fine. So this one first. This one second. This one, no. This one first. I'm glad it's just 4. This one second. That was correct. This one third? Come on. Oh, gosh dang it. 50% chance and I'm missing it. What goodies will I get? Give it to me. This will open and there's something good in there. Probably an enemy that will kill me. Possibly.
Ah, that's it.
How did you activate those things? The animations are
Loren's most valuable
neat.
belongings. Letters from his lover, a silk scarf that must have belonged to her, and a medallion.
Take it all. Ooh, medallion. Inventory. How do I access inventory? This medallion. Grants an extra action point every 5 seconds. I'll take that. Let's go up to the 2nd floor. Let's go up and get killed more. I'll get killed so bad.
Lorimber, the progenitor of the Thirdlings.
In most of the chronicles about the 5 dwarfen kingdoms, only very little is written about the Thirdlings, and what is written is full of disgust.
One we played, right? In the
They're
beginning
called
of the story.
traitors, or worse.
Pretty sure.
It would seem that even the Thirdlings worship Vracus, but in all the other kingdoms his shrine would be the biggest, not the statue of the kingdom's progenitor. A couple of gold coins are in the bowl in front of the shrine.
Can't do any
Make
harm.
an offering to the god. Won't hurt. 20 gold. I have no idea what I'm doing with the gold, actually. So far, I've had enough. That it? Nothing else in here? Nothing? Really? Friends? Anything? I thought this is the place where I needed to go. But it seems like nothing here. Fine. Friends? There is something there. Oh no, it's going up. Let's go up again. That's it, right? Yeah, there's nothing. Fine then. I still don't know what on top right in my interface what the 24 is. Probably I'm in day 24, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's leave this thing here. Cause I've seen more than enough, obviously. I didn't see anything whatsoever. Why didn't you bring your... I can climb higher.
Definitely a rock face.
Great, thank you. Thank you for that information. A rock face, who'd have guessed?
Here's a... No, forget it.
The tree, that tree, thank you for that. And let's climb down. On the option left. That's silly. Bushes.
No trace of Goren here either. If he's close, then there must be some kind of cave somewhere in the mountain.
That's where I've been, I think, but no one was there. There's those two. There's this thing.
So, Scholar, what are the results of your inquiries?
There's no one in there anymore.
There's an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the Thirdlings.
Boindale's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers!
A Thirdling fortress? Here? In the middle of Girdlegard? We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I have completed my quest. Goren is in Greenglade.
Huh.
The High King. Why do you want to bring me to him?
That's a good question.
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the king of the Fourthlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne.
But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
So what?
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindil is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
You look distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindil has donned an innocent expression, and Boendal doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say on the matter.
What does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Brachus and Satalia made us that way.
I know that, but going to war for just that, after all this time?
Well, there must be more behind it. They say that the king of the Fourthlings is full of hatred and is a hothead in this matter.
A thirdling fortress? Here, in the heart of Girdlegard? That's strange, isn't it?
That's odd.
And worrying. Yeah. But they've always been wily. They move in the shadows and kill there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenber, their progenitor, rejected the name that Vrakas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talents, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind, never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Greenglade.
But our quest is...
Boindil raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
Yep. Whoops, I clicked the button. But there was probably nothing more. I've leveled up. So this is where I need to go. What? That looks far away. Yeah, Greendale. Greendale, isn't it? From some Greendale, isn't that Buffy or so? No, Greendale, something else.
Traces of the attack on Steepleton can still be seen, but the repair work is coming on well.
I'm glad I helped. Did I?
While taking a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long, unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female dwarves look like?
Pretty.
Very pretty.
Well, that makes sense.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very.
That's right, in the story they have.
And what do they do?
Yeah.
I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows and the valleys, make sure the larder are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes.
It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle.
Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
So there's pretty much no difference between male and female dwarves. I could go this way, there would be many little villages, but I want to inspect the question mark there.
You arrive at a small, bustling village. One thing is clearly missing from the lively scene: the sound of metal on metal from the village smithy that would normally be heard above everything else at this time of day. A dour, grim-looking man is sitting in front of the forge with his right arm in a sling. His expression brightens as he sees you, and he jumps to his feet.
Dear dwarves, could I interest you in helping me in my workshop for a day?
Sure, why not?
The man's expression is somewhere between desperation and hope. As you don't answer immediately, he continues.
You will, of course, be royally rewarded for your work. I can offer you
100
100 gold pieces.
Yeah. One day, 100. Sure. I'll
I'll
help.
help you. I worked in a forge for a
no
while.
questions asked.
You modestly conceal that in this case, a while means almost a whole human lifetime.
Oh, so he was
A little
looking
later,
at
you are standing in the workshop, examining the smith's inferior tools, while he fires up the forge and prepares everything for the job, as well as he can, with just one good arm. You weren't able to persuade the twins to help you. As warriors, they'd rather go hunting, Boindil declared.
It's fine too.
But you think it's more probable that you'll find them drinking beer.
That's
But
fine
you don't
too.
care. You're excited about being able to smith again after such a long time. Hours later, you have forgotten everything around you. The heat of the forge, the sweat on your warm skin, the play of the flames. You're in your element and work as if in a trance. The smith left the workshop ages ago with a satisfied grin on his face.
You paid me good, so that's fine.
I'm talking to you.
You look up in surprise. Everything but the beating of the hammer had ceased to exist, and you didn't notice that someone has come in.
Can you do it?
You immediately dislike the middle-aged man. He sounds you out so doggedly with his light grey eyes that it feels as though he wants to look right through you and into your deepest thoughts. The man points to two horses.
Those two, in 1 hour.
These two need shoeing. Oh, no problem.
The man doesn't look convinced, but you get to work with confidence after examining the horses' hooves. Two more armed men are standing next to the horses, sizing you up. You concentrate on the work. The only sound you hear is the melodic beat of the hammer against the anvil.
Bing,
you
bing,
keep track of the armed men out of the corner of your eyes. You suspect they are mercenaries. While you're fitting the third horseshoe, another armed man enters the forge and speaks in hushed tones with the leader of the group.
He's the only one here.
The man nods in your direction, and you quickly shift your attention back to the work. You play it cool and complete the work.
I'm gonna mess you up.
As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes.
Yeah.
The men leave the workshop without a word.
So, you're mercenaries, I take it?
You're only trying to engage in conversation, but the man looks at you incredulously, as if he didn't expect dwarves to be able to talk.
I can talk. I can also understand what you're saying.
Got lots of work? Oh, do you know anything about the armies of orcs from the south?
We can't complain.
The man's tone makes it clear that the conversation has ended here. You carry out the work in silence. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes. The men leave the workshop without a word.
I can't follow them in secret. The problem is, I'm a dwarf.
You ignore the horsemen and concentrate on your work. When you tell the twins about your visitors later on, they know exactly who you're talking about. They encountered them on the way back from hunting. You spend the night in the smith's house and continue on your way, with your well-earned reward the next morning.
I wonder what the others were up to, but still. Fine, though.
In the early evening, you make an unusual discovery on the side of the road. A colourful trader's wagon has been carelessly abandoned, with not a soul in sight.
What?
I don't like the look of this one bit, Boindil. You take a look around there, I'll stay on this side. Tungdil, you check the surrounding area, and be careful.
You scan the road and the woods on both sides. Apart from the twins who are fighting their way through the undergrowth within earshot, You can't hear or see anyone. The wagon itself isn't damaged, nor is the drawbar, but the belts and leashes that normally hold the draft animals have been cut clean through. You can see a lot of tracks in the mud around the wagon, hoof prints and footprints from humans in heavy boots. At least half a dozen long ones must have approached the wagon from the woods on both sides. The dwindling daylight provides little light inside the wagon. It smells of leather, spices, and candles. And there's another smell in the air, which you can't quite place. It reminds you of your forge in Lot Yonan's vaults, but different. It is messy, but no more so than you would expect from a single dwarf. The bed is rumpled, and there are tools and leftover materials piled up on the little workbench. There are several cupboards hanging on the right-hand wall. At the end of the wagon, there's a large wardrobe, and next to the door on the left is a heavy wooden chest with rusty metal hinges. The smaller cupboards are piled high with a multitude of tins and boxes, all filled with odds and ends that the trader offered for sale to customers on his trips. Nothing of real interest. You reach for the knob of the wardrobe, and then stop. The rug in front of the wardrobe squelches as you step on it, as if you had stepped in a puddle. You try to work out what has soaked the rug, when suddenly the door of the wardrobe springs open and something bounces into you. You take a step back, and the realization of what hit you makes you take two more.
Unfortunately,
lying on the floor in front of you is the body of a dwarf, headless. His head has been cut clean from his neck. The dwarf is wearing clothes that look more like human robes, and bears no coat of arms that would identify his kingdom. You didn't know him, but no one deserves to die like this.
It probably was the group that I didn't follow, so I could have stopped.
His head is being cut off cleanly, probably with a sharp blade. A quick glance in the wardrobe confirms what you already suspect. The dwarf's head is nowhere to be seen.
Those were headhunters, yeah.
As you try to lift the lid of the chest, you realize that the lock has been broken out of the wood. You open the lid and look inside. Amongst clothes and some empty boxes, you find a loot case and a beautiful loot of the kind that humans build, as well as a bag of bread and cured meat. You take the loot. You can't play, but an instrument like this is worth good gold. You take the bread and the cured meat. The extra provisions should keep you going for a few days. You give a short, sharp whistle, and the twins come running at the double. You tell them what you found.
A group of horsemen with heavy boots has been here. I found Mort in the wagon, beheaded. I have a hunch that the mercenaries from Fallow Rock have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Wretched dwarf killers!
You can tell that Boindil wants revenge and can understand his feelings well. You wrap the body in linen, dig a hole in the woods, and place the body in it. You lay a couple of his tools and other personal belongings you found in the wagon next to him. You wish there was more you could do for him. You continue on your journey in gloomy spirits.
I could have stopped them, I'm pretty sure.
You come across an orchard next to a farmstead and surrounded by several fields of wheat. You don't see anyone working in the fields, but there's a young man lying under an apple tree. He has his legs crossed and a straw hat is covering his face.
Excuse me, but we're looking for a group of mercenaries.
Yeah, have you seen them?
Have they passed by here?
The young man is startled. He must have nodded off. He looks around anxiously. When he sees you, the fear disappears from his face
only dwarves.
and is replaced by curiosity. It seems to you that the man is sizing you up.
And if I answer,
so yes,
what's in it for me?
If you can't help us, we'd be happy to ask the owner of the farmstead. We'll just tell him that the man sleeping in the shade of the orchard sent us. What do you think?
The man seems to size you up, and then a crooked smile spreads across his face.
All right, you caught me. The people rode northwest. But please don't tell Father Mullen.
There's no reason for that if you told the truth. So, northwest, you say?
You continue on your journey, while the lazy labourer sinks back into the grass.
The lazy labourer? Maybe he's not getting paid enough to deal with that kind of stuff.
The first thing you notice as you enter the village of Clintal is how quiet it is. There is hardly a soul in the streets, and the few people you do see immediately disappear into their houses as you get closer. Boindil draws his axes, and Boendal his raven's beak.
Something's not quite right here. Be alert.
You walk on until you reach the village square. Without a word, men enter the square from the left and the right, cutting off your way. You recognize the leader of the group of mercenaries, looking you over with a satisfied expression. Standing next to him is a frail man with greying hair, who doesn't seem able to cope with the situation. He tries several times to say something, but can't find the right words.
Are you going to kill us just like you killed the travelling trader?
The leader of the mercenaries shakes his head sadly and seems shaken.
You fiends want to lay the blame on us. You damn
murderers. They want to push it on us. Oh well. No.
Murderers, come here, dwarf killer.
Kill dwarves.
Are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your kind, in cold blood.
The old man points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, you saw us committing murder, but you didn't intervene? And then you overtook us and only set a trap for us now, and here, several days' journey from the place where it happened.
Yeah.
Your story doesn't seem to make much sense.
We knew that the good people of Clintal would stand by us in confronting you. Mort was well known and respected around here.
But how did you know that we would come to Clintal of all places? If you were really tracking us, that wouldn't have been possible. But if you, on the other hand, were the ones being tracked, then it would have been easy for you to steer us into this trap.
He does have a point, Medarin. Why did you?
The village elder stops mid-sentence as the leader of the mercenaries draws his sword. The village elder turns from the mercenary to look at you, and then gives his men a signal to withdraw.
What? Why would he just leave? We'll sort it out.
Watch out for the archers.
Whoever wins is not guilty. That's how it works. You will get this. No, you can have this. Yeah. Wait, no. You can have this. You can have this. You can have this. Whatever. I don't care. Why you still hurt, Boindal?
Oh, what bad luck for you!
That sounds about
yes.
right. That sounds about right.
Pavrakas! And what now?
That sounds about right.
And again. Come here, you. What is it?
End it. Pavrakas!
Huh?
Yes.
End it.
Yes.
You just get the sharpshooter back there.
Huzzah! He hardly put up a foot.
Attack!
Huh? All right.
Get him.
Who's next?
Yes.
What is it?
At once.
Get him.
I'm with you.
Get him.
On my way.
Of course. I'm with you.
You use your double thing there.
I have Boenda. What is it? Huh? I just need. Yes.
Die, please.
On my way. They're hitting me pretty hard.
fine, that's fine. Don't get killed there.
And again. End it. Kill. Deal. What to do with your axes over here? With pleasure. As good as done. Yes. Attack. Oh,
got him.
What bad luck for you. I want.
I think so. I think I got him.
What is it?
Yes.
Are they healing over time? I think they're healing over time, so that's fine.
Huh?
Is that a 15? It's 15 in total. Could you please not lying there? Could you stand up, please? I'll just wait and heal. That's easy.
Understood.
There's still 5 around.
Done. All right.
Oh, there they are.
As good as done.
Only one of them is coming. That's good.
Say goodbye forever. Huh? Oh, what bad luck for you.
So it's more one-on-one fights, basically. It's not really
another one bites the dust.
Mass fights like in those
days. On my way. As good as done. Say goodbye forever.
Huh?
Yes. Huh? And again. On my way. As good as done.
It's nice that they always come one by one.
Oh, what bad luck for you!
Thanks.
What is it?
Bam.
Yes. All right.
And those two.
With pleasure. Huh? On my way.
Understood.
Those combo attacks are probably the best when I knock it down with him.
What is it?
And then do that. I win. Idiots.
The last of the mercenaries falls to the ground, but Boindil is still in the frenzy of battle. You and Boendal have to physically restrain him until he comes to his senses.
He was knocked unconscious.
Otherwise, he would have stormed the houses to find more adversaries.
He was unconscious. He was laying on the ground.
You walk up to the body of the mercenaries' leader and search his pockets. You soon find something. A letter.
An anonymous client seeks dwarf skulls cleanly cut, shorn, and put into jars with honey. 1,000 gold coins will be paid for each skull. Khan, Bounty Hunters Guild Master.
Why didn't they kill us before?
Bounty hunters. Hunting for dwarves.
That's really mean.
Despicable.
You hold the letter aloft so that everyone can see it.
Look, citizens of Clintel, proof that these men are the killers. They are bounty hunters hunting for dwarves.
The village
Everyone
elder
attacks us
comes
because
out
they
of
want
one of the
1,000
houses,
gold.
flanked by other
3,000.
villagers. You ignore their weapons, as well as their sinister expressions, and hand over the letter.
It would seem you are telling the truth. When you only killed those who deceived us. I thank you for this.
The village
You're
elder
welcome.
signals to a woman, and a few moments later, she brings you food and a bag of gold.
Take this in
That's the
thanks
least.
for your actions.
Boindil, you were just laying on the ground. You don't deserve anything. Fine, though. That's nice. So, it's already been an hour again. And we've made some progress. I understand the game, kinda. And I'll continue this later on. It's a nice little game. I like it. I like it. I like the dwarves. I like the storytelling. It's a bit slow paced, but that's fine. It's fine. Because then I can play it for longer. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this. And I'll see you next time around.